Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Money in the Bank Prediction Show.
I'm high on pixie sticks.
And I'm waiting on my paycheck so I can put my money in the bank.
You just had to go there, didn't you?
Bad puns for the win.
You want to talk about bad puns? It's like, I didn't sell out. I cashed in, baby.
Oh damn!
What are you doing over there, fool?
I'm looking for more pixie sticks. Where are your pixie sticks?
Oh no!
In the pumpkin bowl.
Oh no!
With all the sweetness.
What have we unleashed on our unsuspecting viewers?
Listeners,
whatever you call them.
A very high on pixie sticks, Jeff.
I've been chugging pixie sticks all night. I'm ready to predict some wrestling.
Yeah,
Let's get into it.
Let's get into Money in the Bank.
I need more pixie sticks.
This is quite possibly one of the new entertaining pay-per-view that they came up with. Forget Battleground, forget Payback, forget pay-per-views that really don't have any meaning anymore, like bragging rights. Money in the Bank. It's pretty much the new King of the Ring.
New hotness.
The new hotness of WWE. And let's get right into it. Let's talk about the pre-show. Surprisingly, there are no matches announced for this one. There's just...
Haven't you heard, fool? The new hotness these days is interview segments on the pre-show. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
And I'm not a fan.
Apparently Brian is not a... Really? You're not a fan of this?
I'm not... Keep the in-ring promos to Raw and SmackDown.
Well,
I don't care
it's not
that it's on the pre-show. I don't... Well, first of all, if you're going to have an interview segment with Daniel Bryan, I don't like the idea, but it should be on with the matches that you have on the card. Almost other than the Usos and the Wyatts and the 2 Money in the Bank matches, anything else could have been a pre-show match.
Exactly, which, again, just because they haven't announced it as such does not necessarily mean, in my eyes, that they won't do exactly that.
You mean having a match?
Yeah.
Well, they've announced matches, pre-show matches, really, ever since they kind of started the network, since WrestleMania. They said they're having matches pre-show. But this one, it's a interview, not a in-ring promo, Brian. I caught that there.
I don't like
one and only thing.
You need some pixie sticks right now to get your... blood sugar
you don't
running.
want me to choke to death on pixie sticks like I did
Again,
the power of dust.
Anyway, which really, I think because Daniel Bryan is able to do anything on the pre-show as opposed to, random Divas match or the next match we're going to go into, that's really, really they're selling the pre-show, I'm convinced, on Daniel Bryan's name alone. Which I can see, if that's what they're doing, I get it, but... Yeah, you're absolutely right. This really should have been on Raw.
But if you noticed when they announced it on Raw, there was no reaction
because it was an
whatsoever.
Interview segment. He's not going to actually.
Yeah, he's not going to actually be there. If they said he was going to have an actual in-ring interview, then yeah, people would be like, "Oh my God, he's coming back." But no, it's not going to be for a match. It's just going to be like, oh, I'm going to let you all know when I am going to be back in the ring. At least that's what I think that this whole interview is going to be about.
Well, and also, in my defense, I don't like Daniel Bryan as a promo guy. He's had 2 great promos in his WWE career. The one with The Miz, the back and forth when he won... the week before he won the United States title, and the one before his SummerSlam title match with John Cena, when he basically said, "You're not a wrestler, you're an entertainer. I'm a wrestler." And they were going back and forth, and that was epic. Other than that, he's one note. I don't want a promo segment with Daniel Bryan. But it's going to be there. I'm going to have to watch it. I'll enjoy it for what it is. Do I want it on my pay-per-view or my pre-show? Not really, but it's there. So
it's just gonna be.
It's just gonna be there, and
for me,
depending on what he's gonna say is whether or not it's actually worth the time and
that
money.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah. And now let's get to actual matches. With the first match, that's not even a confirmed match, but I think it's clear as day this is gonna be put on the card. Even if it's not announced, it's going to be there. Big E versus Rusev with the lovely Lana at his side. What's
what are you
your?
looking at me for?
We all know how you feel.
Big E jobs, Rusev wins, and Lana
Rusev
wins
vodka.
everything.
Rusev crush.
Big E
Lana
loses.
wins my heart.
Big E loses. Rusev crush. Lana wins everything.
I wish
My heart.
the one real thing that's just really disappointing me about this match is that because it with who is in it, actually they're both future stars if they get pushed right. These two guys could have actually done something with this feud. It's just another it's a thrown together thing that is continuing at Payback, even though it doesn't happen right after Payback. It happens, 3 weeks after Payback and the week before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view with a promo from Big E. I remember we were watching it this past Raw Fool when it was at Washington, D.C. First, you have the Lana Rusev promo in front of Congress, and for some reason they show a picture of the White House. Yeah, apparently they can't take footage of the White House for the promo. They didn't have to be in it. Just does it have to be a picture? My mind's wandering. My mind's wandering. Good heel Vladimir Russia propaganda. Vladimir Putin not on a horse, topless.
This is. I'll tell you what. I know we've been talking about this a lot before we were even going on the air. I'm convinced this is not only is this just a feud blow off between Big E and Rusev, so both these guys can move on to something else. I'm also convinced that the more you think about it, you shouldn't think about it. This is so old school between nationalists and Soviets or heels, and so much of this is just dripping with old school that
it could work.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. It's just you can't think about it that seriously, or else your mind is going to go.
And
blank.
that's the problem. You can't take it seriously because they're not taking it seriously.
Okay.
I mean, when Big E after the video package, Big E wins his match against Damian Lincoln. He does his whole. I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
It's not even a whole other episode. It's just another bit that we've been talking about the past few weeks. I think, yeah, exactly. I think we said enough on Sandow.
Yeah.
At this point, when Big E did his promo against Lana and Rusev, I even turned to you, Fool, while we were watching. Like, is he trying to be serious with this? Because he's trying to be like we gotta fight for America. Whoa, American pride. We have to fight for our freedom. We blah blah America. Blah 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 America. He did it in such a cartoonish way where not even Washington D.C. was taking him seriously. There was no pop with what he was saying. They were just like, what? Why are you saying it like that? And then Lana comes out on stage. And I don't even remember what she said. It leads to Rusev attacking Big E from behind and just putting him in the camel clutch, because I don't know what he calls it.
It's the camel clutch.
It's the camel clutch. Yeah, exactly. It's if we wanted to they wanted us to take this feud seriously. You had to have put Big E as someone who can actually be something against Rusev. I mean, in a way, Big E is somewhat established. He's a former.
He is established.
He's a former Intercontinental Champion. He's a guy who's willing to fight. He's had big matches against big stars. So, if you wanted us to take Big E and Rusev seriously, it would have to be a match that seems like, okay, either of them could win, but it doesn't. It looks like it's a one-sided feud with Rusev just dominating over Big E. If they wanted us to take some seriousness into this, we could have had Big E basically like that. Everyone's chanting for Big E to get out of this because America, we have our American pride. And you see Big E fight his way out of the camel clutch, which shocks Rusev, and he retreats. Looks like, he could actually defeat Rusev, but no, it's not. He dominated over Big E. This is not gonna. It's gonna be exactly like Payback. It's not. It's gonna be 5 minutes where it looks like Big E showing some sort of offense against Rusev until an awesome super kick, which he did in Payback. Yeah, it was awesome. And it'll just be another easy victory for Rusev, which will lead to nothing.
Well, not necessarily. It's this, which just makes me believe that this can't be anything other than just a feud blow-off, and they'll just move on to something else. But I think it's incorrect for me to say that this is not supposed to be taken seriously. It's more accurate to say that you shouldn't be overthinking this. There's so much wrong with this that could be executed way better.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I have something that could make it way better.
Yeah, but what we're getting, it's not horrible. It's very simplistic. It's very old school. For what we're getting, again, I do believe that this has a very good, strong chance of just being on the pre-show. It'll do its job very well there, and then again, I'm convinced this is just a blow-off, and then Big E and Rusev will go on to do something else. This is just a Clash of the Titans for the time being.
And for that spot that you were talking about that could make this so much better, they're saving that for someone. And I know that you know who I'm talking about.
I'm glad you two know, because I have absolutely no idea.
They're saving it for John Cena when he finally takes down takes down the Russian.
They're
Rusev.
just exactly. They're just building. They're just building Rusev up just to be fed to Cena, as what all dominant heels have been doing the past 10 years. Look what they did with Umaga. They say that Rusev is in the Umaga spot. It's like the Umaga storyline. Dominant, facing Cena, done. It just leads to nothing. If they wanted to have, for me, it's something I said to you guys before show. I was saving something for the actual episode tonight. For me to actually gain some sort of interest in this match, I would want them to add a stipulation to it. I would want, like you said, Fool, I would want this to be on the pre-show. And if it does, I want them to be fighting for something other than just dominance. I want them to take... Okay, for the people who don't know, one of the contenders for the Money in the Bank ladder match has been injured on SmackDown. Well, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It was our bad news Barrett. He got injured on SmackDown. He's now out of the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now there's an empty spot left in that match. What I want to see happen is Big E versus Rusev for that spot. So these guys have something to fight for other than just having it just be a blow-off thing. It would be something for them to actually build on their character's credibility, especially for Rusev, who is going to be my choice he's going to be my prediction for this match, obviously, if they want to keep this dominant Rusev thing going. Have him go in the Money in the Bank match, and if they want to actually continue elevating his character to the top, if it actually does happen, which is not going to happen, this is just me being creative, being more creative than the actual creative. Cheap stab. I would have Rusev win the Money in the Bank, just so you can actually push him to stardom that they're trying to push now, even though all they're doing is just feeding him lower card talent. It may be too soon, but I'd rather have him show some credibility. It's a year he can hold on to that contract, where he can face more upper card guys and actually have legit feuds to still elevate him to a point where when he cashes in, I can see him being champion. Like I said, you don't have to rush anything with that briefcase. I mean, look at Sandow. He almost had the year over before he had the cash in. What are you shaking your head for?
He didn't almost have the year over. That was Ziggler.
Okay. Hey, at least it was the SmackDown briefcase.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy who had the SmackDown briefcase. Yeah, thank you for the correction. Yes, it was Ziggler who almost had it for the year before he finally cashed in. He can hold on to that suitcase for as long as you want. Hell, have Lana hold on to it, just showing Mr. Money in the Bank, Rusev. so and so because I can't speak Russian.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Lana wins all.
Well, again,
Lana can push this similar to what Paul Heyman is doing. It's like, my client, Brock Lesnar, beat The Undertaker's WrestleMania. Rusev, meet your Mr. Money in the Bank. You really
Mr. Rubles in the bank.
Mr.
Rubles.
Done. I'm walking.
Okay.
Russian
I only
money
have
jokes.
I only have one last thought on this all this craziness.
Hey, you.
Rubles in the bank.
And I thought Brian's pun in the beginning was bad. That's just.
Russian money jokes.
Well, we got our
more money joke.
we got our show title, but in all seriousness,
Oh no! Oh god!
that would be a fine idea if all three members of the Shield had not just gone into singles careers. I'll bet you if Rusev would be in one of these ladder matches later on in the night, if the Shield were not taking up 3 of those spots. Otherwise,
well, if it's the final spot, it's 2.
It'll do.
It's the 2 spots because it's only Ambrose and Rollins. Then I can be perfectly honest; those 2 don't need the Money in the Bank contract because
But
they
I
can.
think they'll be feuding for it.
Yeah,
That's what they're. We'll get.
But this is, like I said, this is all just me. This is all just me assuming doing what they should do if they want us to take Rusev seriously.
Again, if this happens next year and Rusev actually maintains his momentum for another whole year, then he's in there. Then that could very well happen. I think it could. But again, for right now, Rusev just has it. He's taking this one.
He's taking this one easily under 5 minutes. The usual Rusev thing.
Yeah,
Don't have to
knowing
like it, but
WWE
you can build
logic,
upon it.
knowing WWE logic, you're absolutely right.
You don't have to like it, but that can be improved on.
But that's the problem. We're supposed to be liking this, and why are they feeding us stuff that we're just like, just it leaves us just tired.
With the amount of content that they're pushing out, it can't all possible by law of averages. It can't all be outstanding all the time. We all know these guys have futures. We all have long careers ahead of them. This is just where they're at for one night. They got the rest of the year to expand. I know that they will.
All right, so Rusev for the win.
Lana for the win, in my dreams.
Which
In my
means
heart.
Rusev.
Close enough.
Everybody on the Rusev train.
My God, fool!
Choo-choo, Machka.
You're scaring me a little bit, fool. Okay, let's get into the matches that actually are on the card with Ryback versus Dashingly Gold, Goldust, and the newly arrived Stardust.
I will say this and get it out of the way right now. I believe that they're going to do what they should have done last pay-per-view. And Ryback wins. Stardust turns on Goldust. And there starts the build-up for their SummerSlam match that is rumored right now. Stardust versus Goldust. I believe that now is the time for the breakup, which should have happened, in my opinion, last week, and this entire thing has been filler, in my opinion.
Okay, I'm going to have to correct you there. I listened to what you had to say about Stardust on last week's episode, and I think I could not disagree with you more on one issue. You're making a lot of assumptions as to what this is going to end up being. If Stardust had never happened like it did, I would have agreed with you 100%. However, I think what we're beginning to see here is actually the makings of a Daniel Bryan style 180, where they had a result in mind, they had an end game in mind, they thought they knew what they wanted to do, but then, oops, someone got super over when they didn't expect, and now they're going to change things over to make it go on for longer because it's a hit. I think that's what we're seeing with Stardust, because generally speaking, I'm seeing people freak out over Stardust. Oh, Stardust is awesome. When, sure, a lot of people didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect. You know what? I really, really like what Cody's doing with the Stardust character. I think there's actually legitimately going to be a future with Stardust. Do I think that a feud between the Rhodes brothers is naturally going to happen down the road? Of course, it's a natural progression. But given the reaction of Stardust, I think it's far too likely, or at least likely enough to not rule it out just yet, that Stardust will stick around for a while, they'll tag for a while, and then they'll start their feud.
I've come around on the actual character of Stardust. I've come around on it. However, okay, I still believe what I believe. This entire thing has been filler to me. It will continue being filler to me until they break up and they have the Stardust versus Goldust. I don't believe that he'll go back to being Cody Rhodes. I like the idea of him being Stardust and mocking Goldust. Mocking him. Being the heel, mocking the face Goldust. I like that idea. I don't like the idea of them continuing the team up because it's still the point to me that they should have broke up last month instead of doing the whole, oh, you deserve a better tag team partner than me.
I agree.
I believe that when Cody Rhodes lost and Goldust was unable to break up the pin, Cody Rhodes should have gone ape crap crazy and just turned on Goldust. Now you have Stardust in the mix, and now you can have Stardust turn on Goldust and have Stardust actively mocking Goldust. And I'd be like, and I'm like, that's cool. That's cool to me.
They could do that.
And I believe that, in my opinion, that's the way they're gonna go.
They could. They very well could. That's the way I believe that they were alluding to. But again, when Stardust happened, Stardust was a total game changer as far as this feud was concerned. And just given the reaction, what everyone was thinking, I don't think anyone expected Stardust to be this over. And just the way it's presented, keep in mind, it's only really been 2 weeks. I think it's way too soon to do an accurate appraisal as to how this feud is going to progress and what's going to be. If you look at it in the manner that says, oh, Cody should have broken up with Goldust already. If you're going in with the mindset that the end game is going to be a breakup, this is a whole nother beast, and I don't even think WWE knows how it's going to progress yet.
See, technically, if I'm thinking about this correctly, they've been teasing some kind of break since right after WrestleMania. So you're saying it's been 2 weeks. I'm saying it's been about 3 months.
If you look at it that way, if there's one thing we've established is that WWE creative team, whether you like what they do or not, they constantly write and rewrite and just fly by the seat of their pants practically week by week at this point, barring some major feuds. I guarantee you that Stardust is just a case of Cody or some creative team member just throwing a bunch of starry glitter at the wall and just seeing what sticks. And guess what? For the 2 weeks that he's been around, guess what? Stardust is sticking. For good or ill, Stardust is over. Stardust is rather kind of neato. So he looks like he's going to be sticking around. Whether it's going to progress in the manner in which we thought, with a more immediate Rhodes Brothers portrayal, that remains to be seen. There's so many other things that can be done with Dashingly Gold at this point, and Stardust, but for the most part, they really need to establish themselves, and I really think that as far as this Sunday goes, Dashingly Gold is going to take it.
Okay, I think I'm jumping that bandwagon. I think Dashingly Gold is going to take it too, because I agree with you, Fool. As if you listen to last week's, I loved Stardust. I loved the whole idea. I love the contacts. I love the Joker smile he did when he finally revealed his face. I like him singing.
Just happy to be there.
I like the "When You Wish Upon a Star" backstage segment from this past Monday, and Goldust saying, "You know the funny thing? Now I'm the normal one," and I just love that. I definitely see
They're
them.
So good.
I definitely see them continuing this. And with how I'm predicting what's going to happen for the tag team title match, I actually think they'll become contenders for the titles.
Easily.
And I could see the break, if they do have a breakup feud, I could see it coming, but I could see something similar to what Jeff was saying. I can see it continuing a little longer before they do that. Like, imagine this, Brian. They actually do win the tag team titles and they make it to the top. And then let's say the next night they get their rematch, and then Cody Rhodes turns on him. And what bigger way to turn on your brother than costing him the gold, and then starting the feud?
It's possible.
What do you think of that?
I think you have too much faith in the creative team.
Let's think of this one other way before we move on. In the immediate aftermath of the Shield breaking up, there is now one less tag team in the tag team scene that could possibly go for the titles. Now that Dashingly Gold has all this momentum fresh back again, that's one other reason why they might actually end up extending their run as a tag team for a little bit longer than they originally thought.
We'll see.
I'm not saying that's necessarily what's going to happen. I'm just saying, in the face of this new development with Stardust and its popularity, there's all different avenues they can take.
Look at it this way. They're now making new tag teams for their tag team division. You have the Usos, who they're trying to push as their Hardys. You can have Cody Rhodes and Goldust be the Edge and Christian.
Those two teams together with Cody's or Stardust new in-ring style, that could be a lot of fun.
And you just need a third tag team to be the Dudleys, and you can you can have the Wyatts, exactly, and have it be a three-team feud.
Those three in a TLC match, that would be spectacular.
It could happen, and we may have too much reliability on the WWE creative, but
I think
no matter what,
I think with your idea, okay, if they're sticking to the SummerSlam template, then they will not become tag team champions. They can't, at least with what my prediction will be for that match. With my ideas of the tag team title match, there's no way it could possibly happen. But I'm
the one real.
You're not swaying me. My pick stands. Ryback will win because of Stardust turning on Goldust.
You're allowed to be wrong.
So are you.
We're all allowed to be wrong here because, hey, hell, all three of us could be wrong.
Well, considering I've been right pretty much extensively throughout this whole year, I think that I can give you one. Okay. Stardust wins. The end. Considering how many times I've won the prediction game
Dashingly Gold takes the win.
Considering how many times I've won the prediction game since...
You may have won the prediction of the matches, but you don't win the prediction of the storylines.
Oh, Stapsy.
Actually, technically, the whole Daniel Bryan thing, yes, I did. But other than...
Oh, we're going to get into arguments off camera, I can tell.
No.
Off microphone.
No.
Whatever.
I can give you one.
No.
Okay? But I won't, because what I say is going to happen.
Let's talk about Summer Rae.
You know what they say? The one with the big egos? The bigger they think themselves, the harder they fall.
That's why I'm the heel, damn it.
All right. I'm the juice champion.
All right. Let's get into the next match, which no one really cares about. This shouldn't take more than 5 minutes.
I care.
Both match and talking.
I care.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
For one, you only care for one particular reason.
I care for many particular reasons.
No, you don't. It's Summer Rae versus Layla with Fandango as the special guest referee.
What's not to love?
Summer Rae wins. Fandango turns.
On Layla?
On Layla. Yes. What happened? What happened between Fandango and Layla is just a smokescreen for what's going to occur at the pay-per-view. And wasn't it said that Layla wants to leave?
Does she?
Well, yeah, we're absconding and we're gonna get married in Vegas.
Yeah, well, if that's actually gonna happen, then she has to lose.
Yeah, she's gonna lose, and then she and we're gonna get married. It'll be like a shotgun wedding in a Vegas chapel, and we're just gonna spend the weekend in the Paris hotel, and we're not gonna come out for 72 hours.
Layla or Lana? Fool.
What'd I say?
No. I'm asking you. Lena.
Whatever
Layla.
you pick, I'll take the other.
Layla or Lana?
I'll take the blonde. You take the one in the turban.
All right.
Where's
Summer
this?
Rae wins.
Where's this show going to? I'm gonna
off
pick,
the deep end. That's where it's going.
I'm just gonna pick Summer Rae because I honestly don't care at all about this match. I'm just throwing a prediction just to throw a prediction.
Yeah, it's Summer Rae's probably gonna win. Moving on.
Brian, did you pick?
I picked Summer Rae.
So yeah.
This was kind of obvious.
Okay, and this one would probably be obvious too. It's our first title match, the Divas Championship, with the defending champion Paige versus Naomi. What do you guys think?
First of all, one thing I gotta say about Raw.
First of all,
The one thing I have to say about Raw, Cameron on commentary,
No.
Stop it.
Never
Stop
again.
it immediately.
What is the point of Cameron turning heel? Seriously.
Paige has something to say. Cameron is nothing more than girl bye.
So,
Which
Paige
is exactly what she
retains-
should be doing. Girl bye. Go
Paige retains, Cameron screws Naomi. Yeah, Paige wins.
I'm going to go for a long shot. I'm going to say Naomi wins.
You think Naomi's taking the title?
Naomi's getting better. Otherwise, the Paige formula is going to be just a rehash of AJ's reign after a while. I know, realistically speaking, it's a relative long shot given WWE booking, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to put my money on Naomi.
If there is going to be a final winner in this match, I'm going to have to say Paige. I think Paige retains because Vince
right.
McMahon may not be high on Paige, but Triple H is. Triple H loves Paige. And I
think
could
those
definitely-
rumors are still yet to
Rightfully
be
so.
confirmed.
And from what I've been hearing, they're trying to save Paige as the Divas Champion so she can have a feud with the returning AJ Lee. But rumors thrown aside, it may not happen. But it doesn't matter. No matter what I can see also happening in this match is this match just, if it is going to have like a weird ending, I could see Cameron going in and attacking both of them, having like a eventual three-way at Battleground, just because because they've been having. What are you knowing about?
He caught me.
What
He
do
knew exactly what I was
This is
going to
a
say.
family show. Never mind.
I was about to go Beavis and Butthead. That's it.
You know what? I'm gonna listen to this show and try and catch what I said to make you think Beavis and Butthead.
You'll
but
know
You'll
exactly.
know.
I'll know exactly.
Everyone listening on YouTube right now knows exactly what went down.
But yeah,
I'm done.
if this doesn't have a finish, I could see Cameron attacking Paige and Naomi. I really want to know what I said. Now. What did I say?
You said they were going to have a three-way in the next pay-per-view.
Oh!
And our noise levels going to the rest of the
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
Now-
I think I'm just going to do the rest of the show from over here, so we're not sending the levels into the red again.
Oh, get back over here.
Okay.
Because
Because it's not you who's the issue.
That's funny. I didn't even catch that.
Yes, the dirty mind of the dude. The dirty mind of the dude strikes again. Okay, moving on.
Are you okay?
I think I made it. I think I broke him.
We made it to that out of post.
Oh, that's no.
No, this
wait.
stays. I think this is glorious.
Okay.
I finally broke him.
For those of us
Okay.
who are still with us,
Okay,
thank you
so-
for listening into the Money in the Bank.
So yeah,
prediction
if there
show.
actually is going to be a final decision, I think Paige is going to take the victory, and Somehow Cameron's going to get involved in this match.
Cameron ruins everything.
Cameron ruins everything.
Girl, go away.
Who do you? Oh, never mind. I think we're done with this one. Paige, Naomi for the fool. That may be a stretch, fool.
It's a long shot, but you know what? It's got to break sometime. But you're probably right. Whatever.
All right, now let's get on to the tag team championships with the Usos and the Wyatts. I'm looking forward to this match. I love both tag teams. This is going to be a fun one, but I think it's now the Wyatts' time to shine. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are taking the tag team titles off the Usos.
Given their momentum, again, they're the biggest tag team act outside the Shield. Shield are gone. Now the Wyatts are due.
I think it's time the Wyatt family gets some gold. You know what I mean?
I also think delicious gold.
Yeah, I think
it'll be a good match. The matches between the Usos and the Wyatts
are fun.
The Usos have had a good run. They'll get another reign.
Absolutely.
But in my mind, time is up. New blood. It's time for the Wyatt family to gain some gold, as it were.
And get a new theme song, please.
Have the Wyatts get it.
Lose the harmonicas.
I don't know. I kind of like the harmonica.
I liked the harmonica.
I think it's creepier than the actual song.
See, I actually said this Monday that I liked it because it was creepy. It was definitely a creepy thing. He didn't think so. He was just weirded out from it.
I think
that was the point.
I think that was the point to Hood, because it was just so different.
The point that I'm confused? No.
You're just be like, whoa, what? This is weird.
It wasn't even weird. It's like, it was like what we talked about with the whole, what were we doing? Where you don't know how you're supposed to react or how it's supposed to be received. Like, to me, the execution was, I understand what they were going for with the whole creepy backwoods harmonica stuff, but it just didn't come across that way to me at all. I mean, you've got big Viking sheep mask man versus Brody Lee, who's big and angry and awesome, and you bring him in with harmonicas? Really?
Well, they are a redneck tag team.
But the execution, harmonicas alone does not a menacing theme make. They can do so much better.
I don't know. For me, it was creepy.
I liked it.
Here's the deal, okay? You got Bray Wyatt, who is the Messiah, if you will. The guy bringing the crazy cult leader, the guy who thinks of himself as the Messiah, and you've got the two creepy-ass dudes as his backup. So, in my mind, it's the same theme, but creepier.
It's not the same theme.
And I mean, like, it's creepy. And that's the point. Brody Lee, creepy. Eric Rowan, sheep mask, creepy.
Why are we calling him Brody Lee? He's not Brody Lee anymore. He's
Luke
Harper.
Luke Harper.
Yeah,
I'm just going.
Snarky.
Yeah.
Snark you.
Yeah. Luke Harper, I think is creepier than Bray Wyatt. Tell you the truth, his facial expressions, the whole licking himself, the whole rolling alligator headlock. I'm like,
yeah. Love that guy.
The harmonica for me works because it's creepier for me than Bray Wyatt's theme, and that's the point in my eyes.
I agree. It'll probably evolve somehow, but just for right now, just having the harmonica, he's got the whole world in his hands. No video, it's just black, and it was just eerie, and I loved it. It for me, and apparently him, it fit for them. And I can't wait to see this match at Money in the Bank. It's going to be an awesome match between these two awesome tag teams. But I'm going to go with Wyatt's. They're going to finally taste some of that gold, or in their case,
literally
copper penny looking titles. Taste of goldish copper.
Which I bet Luke Harper has experienced before. Anyway, Wyatt family,
Wyatt's for the win. And now, we're finally here, gentlemen. We're at the Money in the Bank ladder matches. let's talk. Well, we're at the ladder matches because they separated. Now it's the Money in the Bank ladder match between Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose,
Titty Master.
yes, Titty Master, Dolph Ziggler, RVD, Kofi Kingston, and Jack Swagger. Sadly, because of an injury, Bad News Barrett has been taken out.
And
Now,
that was my pick to win.
that was my pick to win too. Exactly.
Titty Master.
So I guess that's your pick then.
Titty Master.
Just get back down here. Why are you just wandering around my apartment?
Because
You're
Titty
crazy,
Master.
man. Okay, so all right, we got your
Okay.
decision.
Let me tell you who's not going to win. Dolph Ziggler will not get another shot. Rob Van Dam will not get another shot. Jack Swagger better not get another
Oh
shot.
God, he'll take another like a
Kofi
minute and 30
Kingston
seconds.
is
to
gonna
take
be
the
that
damn
dude.
briefcase off.
Kofi Kingston is going to be that dude who's doing the crazy flips and no shot of winning. Okay, I would have said Bad News Barrett had it in the bag
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
because
This is really
Bad
bad news.
News separated his shoulder and will be out of this match.
Thanks to both.
Thanks,
what I
Titty
read.
Master.
I actually heard it was both Ambrose and Swagger.
No, it was during Ambrose's match.
Like-
It was actually Jack Swagger who caused the injury.
It was like the ladder shot to his shoulders basically like did injure it, but it was Swagger's thrown to the wall that actually like
Okay.
sealed the deal.
Okay, then screw you, Swagger.
It's that.
But-
I hate Swagger so much.
I can honestly say that between Rollins and Ambrose, I don't know. I know they're going to be fighting for it throughout the summer, but one of those two win. In fact, I'm bringing out the coins, people.
Oh God, it's that bad, huh? You
Bringing
have
out the
no
coins.
idea.
I don't know.
This is gonna be very interesting. So I guess heads for
Heads
Ambrose.
for Rollins, tails for Ambrose.
Oh God, this is gonna be good.
Wow.
You know what? I'll do it.
It bounced off the wall and into Tarek's hand.
That was a good catch.
You should
Thank you.
have kept that coin flip. Okay, call it.
It's
It's-
heads, I'm going Rollins.
Yeah, really, in all seriousness, I don't see how this can go other than it's gonna continue the feud with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. These two are really the only two who are. There's really no more deserving than these two, really. A good case can be made for maybe a couple other people on there, but given their momentum and what they apparently want these two to be, I've got to go with one or the other, and I got to go with my boy Titty Master here. Ambrose
Now-
for the win.
Here's a twist. Okay. What if both of them grab it off the...
Continue the feud for a briefcase, separate match. The end.
That would be interesting, but really
Instead of
hard.
it for the instead of that plan for the titles. Okay, like maybe one opens. They're both on top, and one opens to try to grab it, and they both grab onto the handle and take it off at the same time.
The only way I can really see that work is all of a sudden. I don't even know.
Okay.
It's very hard to see them both
Here's what's going
grabbing
to happen.
the briefcase unless they're both holding onto it and the handle breaks and they both fall and they're still holding onto it.
Here's what happens. Okay. Both these guys, they climb up on both sides of the ladder. They're both climbing. They're both climbing. Seth Rollins is about to reach for the briefcase. Dean Ambrose goes full on Jon Moxley mode, climbs up the ladder like a crazed rat, and just starts punching him. They get in a little punch fest. Rollins, in his desperation, goes for the briefcase. Ambrose gets a hold on the briefcase. And they're struggling for the briefcase. Suddenly, the briefcase falls open. The contract falls to the floor. Kofi Kingston picks it up and wins.
You know what? I will laugh hard, and I will bow down to the master.
I wouldn't like that at all.
I didn't
like any of that. I didn't like any of that.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
But what could also work is Dean Ambrose winning, then Roman Reigns winning the title at some point and Dean Ambrose turning on Roman Reigns. But I'm gonna stick with my pick. I'm gonna stick with my coin flip toss and say Rollins is gonna take it. But I would love it if somehow both of them grabbed the case at the same time, because hey, more Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins doesn't hurt anybody.
I can be perfectly honest. I actually dreamt of this match. I had a dream of me watching this match, and the ending of it was actually hilarious.
What'd you get?
Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are actually on the top. They're fighting for it, and then all of a sudden, since Dean Ambrose is holding the jeans, he pulls out a taser and hits Seth Rollins with it. Rollins falls, and he just grabs the briefcase.
That would actually be an awesome thing. I'd love to see him do it.
Because he's such a crazy guy, it actually makes sense that he would actually pull something off.
That might actually happen.
And it would just be a good...
If that doesn't happen, now I'm going to have the entire match ruined for me. Thank you, fool.
That's a pretty awesome dream.
Because of that dream, I want that, with the Fool. I'm with the Fool. I want something like that to happen. It's probably not. They probably won't do something like that. I mean, they had Brian Pillman pull out a gun to someone, and that got them in trouble. It was Austin?
Yeah, it was Austin.
Why did I have a brain fart on that?
It's brain fart time.
It's brain fart time.
It was in 96. What do you expect?
No,
there you go.
I remember stuff in 91. But still, this is a tough one for me. I'm probably not going to rely on the coin like you did, Brian. I'm just going to throw a name. I'm just probably going to rely on my dream. I'm going to go for Ambrose with the win because they're just... Taser Master, just so they can find some way to keep this feud with Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose going. They want to have a match at Battleground, and what better way to continue it is having Dean Ambrose kind of screw Seth Rollins out of the Money in the Bank with a taser. With a taser. Little controversial win, and it'll get people talking.
You know what though? I'd actually laugh if Jeff's little theory is what happened, and then they're like, Dean and Seth are like, what the hell, man? And then they just fight to the back while Kofi's
celebrating. It's like, oh, I finally won it.
I finally won it. And then it gets taken away by the authorities the next day.
No, even better is all of a sudden the contract falls on the ground. You just see Wade Barrett with his arm and the thing grab it, and he's in his clothes. He's like, I'm afraid I got some bad news.
I wasn't even in the match. I already won.
Like, I was never technically out of the match. I just didn't show.
Imagine. Imagine though.
That's what they're gonna do.
I will cheer if that's what happens. That would be the greatest thing ever.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I faked my injury so I can get
not even faking it. He shows up in ring gear and just hides out underneath the ring, and the contract falls out of the briefcase, and everybody's out. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins fling each other off the top of the ladder or some stuff, and they're out. Everybody else is out, and Bad News Barrett comes out from underneath the ring, arm in a sling, crawls into the ring, and grabs the briefcase.
Win.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
This is the most confusing Money in the Bank match in a long time.
I'll tell you what.
I have no idea who's going to win.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about this. There's so many different ways that these next two matches could go. They could come out with about 5 or 6 different ways that the match could end, with winners and all, and it would be a very good ending. This, again, given the momentum of the Shield coming out, I don't see any other reason more likely than one of them winning.
And I can honestly say that I look forward to Money in the Bank each year basically the same way I look forward to the Royal Rumble, maybe even more so now, because there are very few times when you walk in and start watching a Money in the Bank match and you're like, oh, it's obvious who's going to win this match.
Yeah.
While in the Royal Rumble, the last 2 years have been pretty obvious picks. Mm-hmm. John Cena and Batista. I was the only one who believed that Del Rio would win in 2011, and in 2012 it was between two guys. Pick the cream of the crop. It was either Jericho or Sheamus. The Royal Rumble has become predictable, while the Money in the Bank is now the unpredictable mess that anything can happen in, basically.
Okay, so Rollins, Ambrose, and I'm probably making a huge.
Ambrose.
I'm going with Ambrose. That's what I love about this. I'm not sure. Yeah. It's definitely one of those two.
With the caveat of Bad News Barrett possibly showing up and being like, yeah, I've got some bad news.
Now that's just a pipe dream.
I didn't throw a punch.
I would love to, what better way to continue the feud than having, Dean Ambrose taser Seth Rollins while they're fighting for the briefcase?
It's Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. They can do whatever.
It can work.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get into the main event. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship ladder match. Now with 8 superstars, because now apparently you can lose your qualifying match and still get put into the match.
Because shenanigans.
Because it's WWE shenanigans. John Cena versus Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns versus Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio versus Cesaro and versus Kane. Brian, I'm gonna start this one with you. What do you got?
I believe Jeff and I are in the same mind on this match.
Are we? I don't think we are.
In that, of course, Alberto Del Rio is going to win.
Naturally, Alberto Del Rio wins.
I hate you both right now.
I thought I was the only one who believed in Del Rio.
No, I believe in Del Rio.
It's his destiny.
It's his destiny.
Oh my. Okay.
But you already knew that. In all seriousness,
I hate you both right now.
In all seriousness,
my God.
With the news coming out,
Jesus Christ.
there are only 3 people in this match that I believe can win. Okay, Cesaro, because there's talk of him facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. There's something came out this morning that pisses me off, but
it pisses everyone off.
They're talking about Cena versus Lesnar. So Cena has a shot of winning. And I believe Bray Wyatt has a shot of winning. Kane has won it before, and I don't want to see it again. Orton and Reigns are going to take each other out. Triple H is going to screw Reigns. Sheamus? No, don't need it. So, I'm going to go with what I want, not with what I think.
Wow, this is a first.
Okay.
Well, this is really tough to call, so you're just doing what I would be doing.
He's being an optimist.
Just say it. We all know what you're thinking. Just say it.
I'm going with Cesaro.
Was not what I was expecting at all.
You thought I was going to go with Wyatt.
Yes, I did.
No, I'm going to go with Cesaro because I want to see... Something is going to happen that has to involve Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar for the title at SummerSlam. Okay? And if that's the case, Bray Wyatt's going to have nothing to do with it. It's either going to be Cesaro or Cena. And what I want is Cesaro. I do not want Cena versus Lesnar round 2.
Nobody wants that.
Okay, it was a great match one time that needed a stipulation for it to be any good, and for this title match, they're not going to have a stipulation. So I want to see Cesaro versus Lesnar, which means that Cesaro would have to win this match. So Cesaro's my pick.
Cool.
Okay, now. In my eyes, there's 3 ways that this could conceivably go, and all of them are entirely reliant on what Brock Lesnar is going to be doing at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
If the rumors are true, and they already know that they want to have whoever wins this match to face Brock Lesnar in a title match, it's probably going to be John Cena. If ride the coattails of their hot new dude. Roman Reigns has a shot. I really hope not. I personally believe it's way too early for Roman Reigns. He just isn't there yet. And if they do, he's going to get the Batista reaction from me, and I am going to hate him for years. So please no Roman Reigns. I want to still like Roman Reigns. If you make him win this match, he's going to be ruined for me for years. Literally years.
Interesting.
In my eyes, if they don't really know what they want to do and they just want to put the title on someone deserving, then I would put in Bray Wyatt. He's certainly been riding a lot of momentum. He's really super over, and I think he's deserving of it at this point in time. I know it's a relative long shot compared to some other things that they could have going on, but it's still what I would like to see happen. But again, that being said, I think given what I have seen and what I believe is likely, I'm thinking they're going to do John Cena winning this match, and then they're going to do Cena versus Brock in a post-streak world where this kind of match can have a whole nother element to it, where it's not just John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. It's WWE Champion John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, conqueror of The Undertaker's streak, which in my eyes puts a whole nother spin on the feud, making it's not just John Cena, it's not just typical Cena-Lesnar feud, if you can even call such a thing typical. This is also a monster versus Superman. This is Superman versus Doomsday, with all of the marbles on the line. And personally, as much as I have a tendency to not like what John Cena is doing at the moment, I think this could be good. And if they do have something decent cooking, I think John Cena's got this one. May not be the ideal, as much as I like Bray Wyatt. I think Cena's got this. And it certainly won't be as bad of a pick in my eyes as Roman Reigns.
I have a real problem with this.
What's
because
that?
I 100% agree with you, Fool, with what you said. They would want to have John Cena, the WWE Champion superhero, versus the monster Brock Lesnar, the conqueror of the streak. Just the title of the match, hero versus conqueror, it makes perfect sense, and it will make money. It will definitely make money for SummerSlam. The only problem that I have with that is I want new blood to be the front runners.
I agree.
That is the part that is grinding my gears.
And the whole thing is, if it's Cena versus Brock, Brock isn't a full-time talent, so you already know that if it's for the title, John Cena will win.
Not even just that. Not even
I
just
guarantee
that.
it, because he won't do the minor pay-per-views.
Here's the thing. Here's what I think. I do agree with you. Brock Lesnar is not walking out as champion, but I definitely think that because you can't just take it down the Undertaker and then just lose it and then just lose. You have to keep that momentum going, and just having do a hardcore match with John Cena that will put both of them to their limits and have Brock Lesnar win, basically barely on his feet, and then probably have like a cash in. So Brock Lesnar still shows his dominance as a conqueror, but then he doesn't have to keep showing up on TV with like a cheap cash in victory.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, but then in that case, John Cena doesn't need to win this match.
That's exactly my problem. I really can't really choose who I want to win. I am at a complete loss, because as much as I see that happening and it being a moneymaker, I want to see, like I said, I want to see new blood with the championship, because John Cena, Randy Orton, they're on the part where they can be part-timers, where their part is gone. They're way beyond it. They're at the point where they should be helping making younger stars out of the younger talent. And with them winning the championship, it's hurting the younger talent who have this huge momentum going. Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns. I'm not picking Roman Reigns. I 100% agree with you. He's had a dominant year, but that was because he was part of the greatest trio of guys since the original NWO.
Oh, that's lofty.
No,
It's not lofty at all.
it's not lofty at all. If you look back at the entire Shield run, it's not lofty at all. They are the most successful trio since the original NWO before they expanded.
I need to think about this.
As
much as I like the Shield,
Because I don't think they ever lost.
They
the
have
six-man tag when they did like 3-on-3. They've
they've
never
never lost.
lost. They
okay,
took
when
out
you're talking
everybody.
about trios, I would agree with you. I was thinking more factions, which
That's why I specified it as trios.
The original
As
the
corrected.
as the original
three.
as the original trio of the NWO.
If I'm thinking
Trust me,
factions, I'm comparing.
that's why I
not
specified
the
it.
entire NWO with DX. I'm like, whoa, now.
Because in that
Okay.
point, they're the most successful stable since
Fair
probably like
enough.
the original Evolution run.
Fair enough. I think they've even
But when
surpassed Evolution at this point. I
Like
think
the original run of Evolution?
Yeah, I've always thought
The
Evolution
Shield
was
has passed
way,
Evolution by.
I honestly
Perished. They've adapted.
No, I'm being dead serious. I always thought Evolution was way overrated. They were just a pet project by Triple H, and they didn't happen really as naturally as some of the other successful fashions in the years. But again, I digress.
I agree
Because,
with you.
like I said, they are the most for the Shield. They are the most successful trio since the original NWO because of how dominant they are. They had the entire WWE against them, and they won.
I'm just gonna put this thought out there. What if Cena does end up winning this match? It ends up being Cena versus Lesnar for the title. Lesnar wins. Just as we're about to close the show, Money in the Bank winner Dean Ambrose comes in. Dean Ambrose goes buck wild on Lesnar. Lesnar loses. Dean Ambrose, World Heavyweight Champion.
Are you
Brock Lesnar does. If Brock Lesnar is the champion, Brock Lesnar does not. Unless something insane happens, Brock Lesnar does not lose to the Money in the Bank.
Something
winner.
does happen. Insane does happen. Dean Ambrose.
No.
Dean Ambrose.
Nope.
So,
Master.
like
John Moxley. Nope.
okay, so like I was saying,
Supercalifragilistic.
Stop it!
Nope.
Stop it, both of you.
Don't throw the pen at me again, sir.
Okay, so like I was saying, it's so hard for me to choose a victor in this match because I want new blood as the champion who has had a dominant momentum. I want either Bray Wyatt or Cesaro to win. Because, like what Brian said with the whole thing with Paul Heyman, it could elevate him to Cesaro to a point where he can face Brock Lesnar and have a legit, good match. Because NCAA World Champion, a great brawler in Brock Lesnar versus a good talent in Cesaro. That would make a good match. And even if I really don't know, because I want one of those two to win because they both need they have momentum, and if they lose this match, I'm not doing the coin toss. Don't point at that penny.
Okay, let's look at it another way. Who do you instead of looking at who we want to win, who do you think has the best opportunity of winning?
Cena.
For WWE, it's Cena.
Cena.
Then I would have to go with that.
That's the only reason I'm going with Cena right now.
And I don't want it to because it's the easy way, and it hurts your future stars because you can't rely on them, even though you've seen what they've been able to do over the past year. Look at Bray Wyatt and what he's accomplished in his past year. Look at Cesaro in his most couple of years. He had one of the most successful United States Championship runs. He was the one that got the real Americans over. He was the one that won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and created a new WrestleMania moment with him lifting up Big Show like he was nothing and throwing him over the top rope. You can't have him just like gain dominance over that, becoming the new Paul Heyman guy, and just having either him or Bray Wyatt lose because it just kills momentum that they were running on. Because if they lose, what else can they do?
I'll tell you what they're going to do. I'll tell you exactly what they're going to do. they're going to talk. If you want to talk about bringing in new blood, that's exactly why you have John Cena win. And I'll tell you why. John Cena comes in with the title. They do their predictable Cena versus Brock Lesnar feud. Brock Lesnar wins. He's got the title, which means eventually he's got to lose to somebody. And there's a million other ways they can do with this. He can lose to the Money in the Bank winner, who will be a face after naturally conquering the guy who conquered the streak. We got a returning Daniel Bryan somewhere down the road, who, let's face it, if you do a David versus Goliath style match with guys with the natural talent of Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar, that's going to be fast, amazing. You could do someone like Bray Wyatt, who, if he keeps going as he is, will still be a face and still be over. Maybe he'll have the rest of the Wyatt family run interference. I don't know. Maybe you could even do a Paul Heyman guy versus Paul Heyman guy match and do a face Cesaro versus a heel Lesnar. Any number of things. Anyway, in any of these cases, the most elder statesman who will even get the rub will be Bryan. And even then, it's way, way better of an alternative than the usual Cena, Orton, Batista, whatever that we normally get. I'm not saying it's necessarily the best outcome. I'm just saying if this is the way it ends up going from Money in the Bank, like the Money in the Bank match itself, there's so many different alternatives that there's about a million ways that this can go right for every million ways that this can go wrong.
I think you're being highly optimistic that Lesnar would actually win that match, because let's think about it this way.
I'm not talking about Lesnar winning the match. I'm talking about one of many alternatives that can go well.
I know, but you said Cena wins. At the beginning, you said Cena wins the match. Lesnar wins the title at SummerSlam, and then you went on to the many other ways that this can do well. I think you're being highly optimistic that Lesnar would win the match and win the title, because he will not be at every pay-per-view. He will not be on Raw.
I agree.
So why would they give him the title?
Because
I'm pessimistic, okay? Because first of all, it's Cena we're talking about here. He beat Lesnar in his first match back.
Yeah.
And so I'm highly pessimistic that the WWE will actually allow Lesnar to first of all become champion, because he's not a full-time guy. He's not a full-time guy in the meaning of that he can do every pay-per-view. Like The Rock wasn't a full-time guy, but he was there for every pay-per-view, so that's why they gave him the title. Batista wasn't a full-time guy, but before Daniel Bryan blew up, the plan was for him to win the title at WrestleMania, and that would have been fine because he was there for every he would have been there for every pay-per-view. You don't have that with Brock Lesnar.
And you know what?
So Money in the Bank, the problem for me is that none of the guys in the Money in the Bank match for the contract I can see beating Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the title, even after he goes through whatever match he goes through with John Cena. Do I agree that John Cena will probably win this match? Will he probably win the Money in the Bank? Yes, but I'm not going to predict that because I don't want it. I want the battle of the Paul Heyman guys. That's what I want to see, so that's what I'm going to predict. Do I believe it will happen? Not really. But I'm going to go with it because that's just the way I'm feeling tonight.
I still disagree with your assessment of the whole Brock Lesnar situation, but then again, now we're going back into speculation territory. Again, there's a million ways this can go down.
The only real thing that I can really see them doing is maybe if John Cena does win, because if a lower guy does win, they'll since they wanted to have Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, depending on when he's coming back, if it's a new blood, they'll probably have them as a transitional champion and probably losing it at Battleground. So, let's say if John Cena does win, I can see Daniel Bryan, like maybe he doesn't come back. He comes back for SummerSlam, and he's saying he's going to go for the title. And next thing you see is a triple threat match with John Cena, Daniel Bryan, and Brock Lesnar. It's the only real thing that can make sense, where it doesn't make like Brock Lesnar look weak because he'll probably be the one who won't get pinned.
Oh wait, I've got my chronology wrong. We still have
Yeah, we have Battleground in between.
Right. Okay.
So
I take that back then.
So, because I don't want to see the new blood as a transitional champion.
Okay,
if that is the case.
I got my chronology wrong. I apologize. In that case, if there's gonna be a turnaround here, I'm thinking that it's probably gonna go to Bray Wyatt then.
You're seeing Bray Wyatt. You think he's gonna lose the title at Battleground?
If Daniel Bryan is on his way back, and it'll depend on when he's coming back. I think that would be an excellent feud for him to come back to, just because it's sure now that Daniel Bryan has established himself as a champion. I think it would be a really good comeback feud to pin him back against the same guy who he could never legit beat. Bray Wyatt. Champion Bray Wyatt. It's one of many possible things. Now
I guess...
Now I'm back to not knowing what I want.
It's a burden.
I'm sticking with Cesaro.
You know what?
I'm sticking with my main man.
You know what? If we're going with what we want to see happen, I'm changing my vote. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt.
So many things.
This is the problem with Money in the Bank match.
It really is.
It's
real.
It's a toss-up between Bray Wyatt and Cesaro, who I want.
You got a coin right in front of you, fool.
I really didn't want to do this, but I guess I have no other choice.
It's a tough call. No one's going to blame you. Okay, heads, Cesaro, tails, Wyatt.
Okay, let's see. Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt.
Landed on tails. Looks like I'm going Bray Wyatt.
All right.
Because if the Daniel Bryan versus Cesaro would be great. Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt would be great. So it's a win either way for anybody.
It'll be good no matter what.
It'll be good. John Cena, it's played out. It's played out.
Not to Vince, not to the WWE's eyes. He's not played out.
No matter what you do, you
and that's why I don't really care about his matches.
You can extract something from this. Whether or not it'll be good or what will be, we'll see. Time will tell.
I guess that's it for the prediction show. Man, this last match took a lot out of me. This whole show took a lot out of me.
The last two matches. This is what I'm talking about.
This is what I love about Money in the Bank. This is why it's actually up there. It's now on the same level as King of the Ring, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam.
After the first 3 years, 2005 Edge was pretty obvious. 2006 Rob Van Dam was pretty obvious. 2007
and 2008.
2008 was obvious until Jeff Hardy got caught doing drugs. And after 2008, there hasn't been an obvious winner for a Money in the Bank match, and that is what makes Money in the Bank so exciting to me. It's more exciting to me than the Royal Rumble because Money in the Bank, you don't know. You know who's not gonna win, but you have no idea who's actually gonna win. You know what I mean? You have like a group of 3 guys who you know have no shot.
That's such a shame.
But out of the rest of the group, you have no idea who's gonna win, and I love that. That's why I love Money in the Bank. I'm looking forward to this Sunday, and it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
The lower card leaves something to be desired, though.
Maybe a couple of them, yeah. But okay, Fool, you got some cheap plugs in for us?
I do have some cheap plugs in for us. If you like this episode, please feel free to like this video, subscribe to us, our channel, and go on Facebook if you're on the Facebooks these days, like I hear the kids are these days.
We're not that old.
What are you talking about? I'm 50.
No, you're not.
Anyway, you can always go on Facebook.
To our audience?
I'm 2 years old.
because maybe they need to know that they can look us up on Facebook and like our page, The Scholars of Wrestling Show. Like us, follow us, comment on this video if you think we're a bunch of idiots or you disagree. Tell us who you think is going to win the Money in the Bank matches, the World Heavyweight title, everything. Let us know. We love to hear from you. Keep us posted. Thanks. We love you.
And thank you for listening in. Nothing else to say except we are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. This is going to be a pain pay-per-view.
Time to get my money in the bank.
Time to get my rubles.
Time to say